In the Diablo 4 beta, you can fight one of the world bosses, Ashava The Pestilent. In my opinion, this is one of the coolest new features coming in Diablo 4. These world bosses spawn, I think, on a fixed schedule, at least for the beta they do, and you can kind of plan to be there. On the world map, it showed up half hour in advance, so it gave you some time to finish your dungeon or whatever you were doing and then head over to where the world boss spawns. So now, when you're fighting this, you can do this in up to 12 people, so 3 full parties. I was only with one friend, so 10 other people were able to join us. I'm level 25 in this video on my druid, so fighting in melee, which actually was somewhat of an advantage because he does these really large sweeping wing attacks that, if you are at range, will just completely one-shot you. Now, I definitely died a lot of times in this fight because I could not figure out how to dodge his backwards wing attack. I don't know what to call it, but he basically stomps in front of him, and you can see where those are going to hit because there will be 2 large rings in front of him, and then after he does that, he would do some type of backwards sweep attack. So I would dodge the forward attack or just straight up get pummeled in this case, but I would dodge the frontal attack, but by dodging it I would be behind him, and then he would do this backwards wing attack, and I just, for the life of me, could not figure out how to dodge it. I'm sure after watching this video and seeing how often I died to the same attack, next time could probably figure out how to avoid it. So I really enjoyed being able to do this with so many other players. You can just see people throwing all of their best stuff at the sky. Found that really enjoyable. You have 15 minutes to defeat the boss, so if you do end up with not a great party, it can be tough. I mean, that's something that I could see potentially being an issue, is if there's not enough people around to do the world boss, then you're going to struggle to beat it. But I'm thinking that 12 people is not so many, and that these will be popular, especially if they drop similarly to what they drop in the beta, which is quite good. So here's that sweep attack I was talking about. I just could not figure out how to dodge that. The loot rewards for this were quite good. As you'll see at the end of the video, I got 5 legendary items for defeating him, and obviously you only have 15 minutes to beat it. Didn't even take the full 15 minutes, so yes, the rewards are quite good for the time investment. And you can see there, when he does that backward sweep attack, he poisons you, and the poison was like more than my full health. So you can just kind of like spam health potions to try to not die, and even then, some of the times, it wasn't enough. I think I died like 5 or 6 times during this fight. Thankfully, there is a spawn point right within the zone where you fight this boss, so you don't have to walk too far to get back. I do like the mechanics of the fight in general. You have to definitely pay attention to what's happening. You can't just stand there and spam your attacks. Does this like circular wing attack around him that one-shot a ton of people. You can see people dying on the screen. I love it. I think that is one of the cool things, is like everybody drops a spirit when they die, so when someone else gets one shot by a certain attack, you can just, because you're playing with 12 different people, you can see what got them. I kind of think it's almost better with that backwards sweep attack to just stand and tank that first hit. Melee actually had a decent advantage against this guy, being away from those large sweep attacks. So overall, I really enjoy this mechanic. I think world bosses are really fun. I enjoyed them in World of Warcraft when I was playing Dragonflight for a little while, and I think it's just cool to gather people, and it's one of the advantages of having Diablo 4 be a sort of more open world type game. You can do this type of thing. Get a bunch of people together to fight a gigantic boss. I'm really eager to see what the other world bosses are going to be like. Are there more world bosses in the Fractured Peaks and they're only showing us Ashava the Pestilent? Or is this the only world boss in this zone? In which case, are there only 5 world bosses for the entire game, which that would be somewhat disappointing to me. I hope there is a variety or potentially different ones spawn in this location. So I hope you enjoyed this video. This was a really fun fight. I hope you get a chance to experience it before the beta ends. There are a couple time slots left after I recorded this video. Probably by the time it's live, the beta will be over. But let me know in the comments what your beta experience was like. Did you get to do the world bosses? Did you play all the characters? Really looking forward to hearing what everyone's different experience was like. And that's going to be it for this one, as Ashava the Pestilent goes down and drops a ton of legendary items. 5 in total for me. Super rewarding experience. Thanks for watching.